Hello, Master Tax here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a look at a battle from the Tier 8 Italian premium heavy tank. It is the Bisonte C45. If you're new to my channel and you enjoy what you see, please don't forget to subscribe. So before we get into the action, I'll show you my crew and equipment that I've currently got in this tank. Crew I'm using on this tank is good, all onto the 5th skill. It is my crew from my Bisonte 66. The equipment I'm using in the special survivability slot is vents. Then in the special firepower slot I've got improved rotation mechanism and also a vertical stabilizer, also using the premium consumable food. On field modifications I have maxed this out, so I get a permanent bonus of plus 3% of vehicle hit points, haven't fiddled with any other modifications. So now let's have a look at it in action. Today I'm playing on Fjords. It's a standard battle and I've got the 4-5-6 matchmaking and I'm bottom tier today. So what I generally do when I'm bottom tier, especially in a heavy tank, your armour will be rubbish at bottom tier. So I just class it as a medium tank. I do have a little mobility, so I'm just going to do what I would do if I was in a medium tank, a top tier medium tank, and I'm just going to try and go into the gully, into this little lake, get down the bottom, and then I want to get up the other side. So I'm trying a little snapshot. Not sure why my team stopped there. It seems like a silly position. I've been tracked there but didn't take any damage, so I'm just trying to get down into the little lake, into the pond, but I was stuck on a rock, but I did manage to get free without taking any damage. So I've got all 3 shells loaded. This is an auto reloader, so it does automatically reload a shell. If you only fire 1 or 2, it is automatically reloading all the time. So I just want to crest up this ridge and get some damage into these medium tanks, get them out of this position. I am spotted. That's proximity spotting. So I've crested up, 121B, shot into him. I've taken a shot from him. There's another shot into him and I'm pulling back. I've got 1 shell left, but I'm going to reload my magazine, get a few more shells loaded up, let the Centurion get some damage in, but I can't resist that damage. Shot into the UDES 14-5 and he's been taken out. So only the 121B left here. Could do with 2 shells, but I've popped up too early, managed to get 1 shot into him. The Centurion should take him out and he's been taken out. So quickly won this place. Now I'm going to try and get some shells in my magazine and I'll tell you about the gun on this tank. It is a 105mm gun. It has 218mm of penetration. That isn't really great for tier 8. Then 360 alpha damage. With my crew and equipment, I've got a reload time of 14.88 seconds for the first shell, 13.13 seconds for the second shell, then 10.5 seconds for the last shell. So it is better if you only empty your magazine if it's necessary. So other stats I've got, my dispersion is 0.37, which is really poor. And then I've got an aim time of 2.36 seconds. So the gun handling is actually really poor on this tank. It's the same as the Tech Tree tanks. The gun handling is really poor on them. So really focus on your gun handling. That's why I've doubled up improved rotation and vertical stabilizer, and then using vents with that and food really boosts my gun handling. So back to the battle, and what I've done, I've pushed up to this rock to get some assistance, light up the tank destroyers that are camping at the back, and I am getting a lot more assistance. Other stats I didn't mention about the gun is you do get a shell velocity of 1155 meters per second, which is quite good, and you do get 10 degrees of gun depression with this tank. And I can tell you the turret armor on this tank is really good, and you've got a tiny little weak spot, a cupola, a commander's hatch on the top of the tank. So if you play a hull down in this tank, the turret armor is fantastic, and I can say that this is my favourite tier 8 premium heavy tank in the game. I do absolutely love this tank. But as I've just said, you do have to really focus on the gun handling of this tank and try and get it as good as possible. You can't just forget the other stats because they aren't too bad, and I'll tell you a little bit about them now. So your mobility, you do get 50 kilometers an hour going forward, which isn't too bad, especially being a heavy tank. And then you get 15 kilometers an hour in reverse, which is good for playing them ridge lines. And then on your view range, with my crew and equipment, I've managed to get a view range of 439 meters, which isn't quite to the max, but it's not too bad for a heavy tank, especially at tier 8. So there's only one thing I can tell you now, and that is its armor. The armor on the front of your hull is 135, it's not the greatest. 75 on the side, 30 on the rear, and then your turret armor is 185 millimeters on the front, which doesn't sound the greatest, but it is sloped. And then you get 80 millimeters on the side, 50 on the rear. So now I'm trying to get to the edge on this ridge line, and I'm facing two super heavies, a Motion and a VK 100, just trying to get his bottom plate. I can't actually get a shot in yet. Probably could if I loaded gold, but I don't like using gold, so I'm not going to be doing that. Just using standard ammo all game. So I managed to get a shot into the Char Future 4. Now I want to get a few more shells into this magazine before I commit. One thing I didn't tell you was your intra-clip reload, which is the reload time between when you can fire the shells, and it is 3 seconds. So after you fire one shell, you've got to wait 3 seconds and then you can fire the second. So I've gotten one shot into the artillery, shot into the 2684, and there's a third shot into the 2684. He is a good tank to get some shots into. Weaken his hit points for my team just to push in. So there's only 2 enemies left. 2684. Will I be able to get another shot into him? There's the artillery. He's been taken out. Can I get a shot into him? Trying to find the final shot, and he's been taken out. Let's have a quick look at the stats. It was a master. His tank reward, that's down to me 4,654 damage, 2,695 assists, and I blocked 2,390 potential damage. Also got the Confederate medal, which have got to hit more enemy vehicles than any other player on your team, at least 6. I hit 7. Top of the tree for XP with a base XP of 1,578. Top for damage, I made 295,000 credits. That's due to a personal mission payout, battle payments, and a personal reserve bonus, plus 12,072 XP. That's due to playing a premium vehicle, a personal mission payout, a personal reserve bonus, and an award for the first victory each day, which was at ×2. I'd like to thank you for watching today's battle. I hope you enjoyed it and found the information useful. If you did, please don't forget to like and comment. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. There's a little icon in the bottom left hand corner. Cheers.